paste.
Hey everybody, welcome back to What's for Dinner. I hope you guys are doing awesome today. If you guys have any medical questions, make sure you reach out to your highly trained and knowledgeable medical providers. If you'd like to find one of those types of people, you can look at worldlinkmedical.com and look up to the provider directory. And that's for hormones, World Link Medical is. And if you're looking for somebody who specializes in metabolic health, then you can look up lowcarbusa.org or smhp.org. And for those of you who are new to our channel, I'm Mark. I'm Teresa's husband, and I'm a health coach. And Teresa is a board-certified family nurse practitioner. She specializes in bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. That's a really long and complicated way of saying hormones. And she also does metabolic health, and that's a fancy way of saying fat loss.
Yeah.
So she is licensed in Florida and Missouri. So if you guys need a provider from either one of those locations, we can do telehealth or in-person visits. So anyway, what do we want to talk about today?
Well, I'm just going to do a part 3, the final part for what we've been doing for hormones. But I wanted to say the only contraindications against hormones, so that's testosterone in men and all the hormones in women. In men, the only contraindication, and we'll do men maybe next week, is active prostate cancer. Although there's been some urologists that have sent me patients and just asked me to half the dose, and I'm allowed to keep them on testosterone. And then in women, it's active breast cancer. So once you're done with treatment, though, I mean, it's hard to find someone to put you back on it because the recurrence rate of breast cancer, of any cancer that you have, is there. So I want people to truly understand what the risks are of getting recurrence, whether you go on it or not. But like I said last night, a meta-analysis of 21 studies showed there is no increased incidence of recurrence when women go back on hormones after breast cancer. But for about the last 2 or 3 years, I have been a little bothered and perplexed when women get diagnosed with estrogen receptive breast cancers, because in my brain, I'm just like thinking, first of all, most women that get diagnosed with breast cancer are older women, and I do thousands and thousands of labs baseline, and menopausal women are not making estrogen. Their level is 0 on Quest or LabCorp. So I was thinking, how could estrogen be feeding it when they don't have estrogen? Well, first of all, estrogen, the bad kind, can hide in your fat and become inflammatory. Now, just to say, I do think there are occasions when actual hormones, like you get pregnant, you get tons of estrogen scorching through your body, and you're going to get an estrogen driven cancer. For sure that happens. But I'm just saying there's so many now that I've often wondered what was going on. And then, as the Lord always does, places somebody in my path that gives a suggestion of something. So this book, Estrogeneration, by Dr. Anthony J., answered my questions. And just, it's painful when you say you're a highly knowledgeable healthcare provider, because they'll tell you if you've ever had a clot, you can't be on hormones. That is not true. You can be on transdermal. They tell you
Breast cancer.
Well, yeah, but I guess really the blood clots are really the big thing. And then they'll tell men that testosterone causes heart attacks. But okay. So here's the 10 top endocrine disruptors. In my opinion, not medical advice, this is what I think is driving most hormone receptive cancers. So there's the top 10 that he's listed here as causing you to be ill. One is phytoestrogens. So these are all things that mimic estrogen. So I've often thought when postmenopausal women get estrogen receptive breast cancers, the smart surgeons must know that they aren't making estrogen. So are they testing and trying to figure out what caused it? The answer is no. But phytoestrogens are number one. That is the high levels found in plants like soy, flax, lavender, and cannabis. I forgot about cannabis, but Mark was like, no, we knew that cannabis was in there. But mycoestrogens, which is the fungus estrogens, which come from fungal contaminations, which is usually seen in grains. So eat your whole healthy grains. Astrazine, which is an herbicide, the common herbicide that you've probably never heard of. Most of these things also are outlawed and banned in other
Yeah, the
states.
European Union,
Yeah.
there for sure. A lot of those
So he,
glyphosate and whatnot.
yeah, he goes through all of this and tells you the studies and how each country has banned it except the US.
Yeah.
And a couple of things like the atrazine, the pesticide, the study that showed it's fine to use was done by the company that makes it.
Yes. And the FDA and these other organizations actually use that data directly given to them from those
Yes.
companies, and they take it as, as absolute truth.
Yes.
And they don't research it themselves. So the FDA is notorious for that with food companies and drugs and stuff like that.
Yep.
Putting stuff in the drugs, not telling them about it, and then they don't check on it. So.
Yep. And then triclosan, which is the soap estrogenics, which are soaps and other cleaning products. So hand sanitizer, triclosan. And then the next one is BP and 4-MBC. I guess that's not the next one. That's sunscreens. It's interesting that every single person uses sunscreen, sometimes just to walk out to the mailbox. And skin cancers at our all-time high.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
Hmm.
I don't use sunscreen unless we're going floating for the day and I'm going to be out for a long, long time. If I'm going to be out for more than an hour and a half or 2 hours, I will wear sunscreen, but we do try to do organic. It's the seed oils that many experts think that when we ingest, that's what causes you to burn out in the sun.
Yeah. Makes you more susceptible to burning.
Yep. Red numbers 3 and 40. So we all know that. It's M&M, Skittles. I mean, red Gatorade. Red food dye is notorious for a lot of things. Parabens, those are the fragrance estrogenics. So those are in cosmetics.
Mm-hmm. Shampoos,
especially where you see the word fragrance. They don't have to list what it is. So don't ask me the answer, like the solution to all this, because we're still figuring it out. In here, he does give you a couple levels of things to do. But when I first started reading this book, I just thought of the days, because women out there, we don't wash our hair every day. So the day I wash my hair, it's shampoo, it's conditioner, it's body wash, it's lotion, it's face lotion, it's cosmetics. I mean, it is so many things before I even leave for work.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's phthalates. It's PHTH phthalates. That's plastic. So think of all the plastic water bottles that we drink from now. You guys have to, what you can do about that, we've done this a while ago, is switch to glass containers for our water. We use glass containers to store food.
Yeah, our Berkey filters right here, and the water comes out of the well, which is already filtered and softened, and then it goes through the Berkey filters, which have charcoal filters and fluoride filters, and then it goes into our glass bottle, and that's the final product that we drink. So.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, can I say something really quick about the proprietary blend?
Oh, yeah.
So whenever a company, whether it's a food company, cosmetic company, puts a place in the ingredients list that says proprietary blend, what they're doing is they're trying to, one thing they're doing is they are trademark protecting their products.
Yeah.
So they have a secret sauce, so to speak, or a secret blend they don't want their competitors to find out. So it makes your shampoo smell really good, or your perfume smell really good, or it makes your food taste a certain way, and they don't want anybody else to know about it and copy that. So, but the other way is also to hide offensive products and stuff inside the proprietary blend. So when they list proprietary blend, or you see that on an ingredients list, there's things in that blend that they're not required by law to expose or to tell you what is in it.
Yep.
So just be careful.
Yep. And then there's BPA and BPS, which is another plastic. So I just think of I think of like if you go to Chili's for dinner and you bring home leftovers in a styrofoam container and then you microwave it. Microwaves are bad too, but we use ours. You microwave it in the styrofoam leaches into your food. So these little things make a difference. I remember for years we've known about BPA and triclosan. So they have the even before COVID, they had the hand sanitizer at the checkout line, especially in the winter. And when you get the receipts, it's full of BPA. And then the triclosan together, don't do that.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I said this to a patient. She said, "Oh, I've never been on birth control." And I was like, "Oh, you have. Mark has. Everyone has." Because birth control, estrogen from birth control is everywhere, because so many women take birth control, pee it out, you get reclaimed water. It is in all the streams and all the lakes and all the rivers. In this book, he talks about they've done studies on fish in the Swiss Alps, Portugal, and then of course around here. And every fish that's been tested has birth control estrogen in it.
Yeah, some degree of estrogen.
Right.
It's crazy.
So when you get breast cancer, some of you, okay, I mean, there are people that get true hormone that God made you with receptive breast cancers, but otherwise, it is a chemical storm that you suddenly reach your limit and topple over.
Yeah.
I don't think most of the hormone receptive cancers that we're diagnosing are from the estrogen that your body is making.
Yeah, there's a term for it, toxic load.
Yes.
And that's how much of this stuff that you're collecting throughout a day by all the perfumes and food you're putting on your body, and the shampoos, and then the lotions, and then the food you're eating and everything. And then everything contributes to that toxic load. So if you research that, there's books on it and whatnot, it'll give you a little bit more insight into it.
Yeah, so in this book, he gives you 3 levels, gold, silver, and bronze, ways to help. And he's saying if you have a family history of breast cancer, or you've had breast cancer or cancer, then you need to do the gold level, change everything. I don't think you guys need to be crazy obsessive, but I think even when the kids were little, we switched to glass. And I remember, and they never broke anything, but I remember thinking if they break something, I mean, you could just go buy cheap stuff in the beginning, but I think that's an easy way to change is the plastics. And then if anyone has good cosmetic companies, I would be really open to suggestions. I've tried over the years to change, and like mascara is $15, and then I don't like it, and then
yeah, it's hard to find
it's
some of these alternative products that are healthy and safe to use, but also they can stick to your face the same way, or they smell as good, or they taste as good, whatever it is, insert on the blanks there. But yeah, it's these ball jars that we use for our drinks. They're super cheap to use. All of our storage containers in our fridge and whatnot are all glass as well. You got to be careful as well because Nalgene bottles, those are really popular.
Yeah.
There are some BPA free plastic bottles out there, but we don't know how safe those really are.
Well, and the thing is they're allowed by law to lie to us. So you could buy olive oil and it's allowed to be, I forget, 40% not olive oil, and they can say 100% olive oil. So,
well, you can put your water in a BPA-free bottle, but what's to say that you're putting it in the bottle and then you're storing it in your trunk in the middle of 100-degree weather, during the summer or whatever, and that heat is going to cause things to leach out of that bottle into the water. So, got to be careful of that.
That's true. Don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate situation we're in right now, but you got to really do your own homework and stuff. But this has been a great book, and I'm so thankful that I saw a physician that I follow point this book out, and I made Mark order it immediately, and I got it and flipped through it, and I was just like, I just knew that it wasn't like we think it is.
Yeah.
Because women are scared to use hormones because of breast cancer. But if you're scared of breast cancer, we got to fix our diet, because 9 of the top 12 cancers are metabolic in nature, and we got to fix our food and our environment.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. All right.
Okay,
Are you good with that?
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to mention to folks really quick, if you're on YouTube, I apologize. Like somehow YouTube, we do most of our YouTube stuff on my phone, and somehow YouTube decided to hide not all of them, but hide a lot of the comments. And then I all of a sudden logged into YouTube on a computer, and I was going through and I checked the comment, and there was these hundreds of comments that I had just completely, looked like we had ignored. And so we didn't get a chance. So anyway, we're just playing catch up. So if you're on YouTube and you have messaged us, we make it a point to try and answer everybody. As long as we can, we have the time, we'll do it. Yeah. And we have not been good at doing that, but not because it's our fault. We apologize.
YouTube has probably flagged us for misinformation.
There's a very good possibility that YouTube has done that. So, all right. Well, speaking of YouTube and Facebook, if you guys haven't already done so, please like or subscribe to us. Give us some thumbs up, some stars, some smiley faces, some comments. And we love you guys. We hope to see you at church tonight.
Please come.
And God bless. We'll see you next time.
Bye.